Hello everybody, welcome to the final video of Wednesday. I don't remember what day it is. So I've been kind of like obviously hard at it, kind of creating content and doing guides and things, but obviously I want to touch base on the following, which is the Winter of Woe. It's quite funny because I'm reading this like so I just watched the man solo the new Winter of Woe Absman fight about an hour after it was released, like it was Realm of Legends. Of course, referring to like MSD. MSD's different gravy though, so it's like he smashes through stuff that, you know, I'm not a young gentleman anymore, but you know, he's doing the best for everybody. So it's just like it's great to see. Winter of Woe in any case has been woe for, I think, bad design from Kabams' perspective. I think they need to take the L with this one. There's a couple of things for me that stand out like why it's an L. First thing being the energy cost is just no. Why? It cost me one energy, full energy refill and a half to do it, and it just doesn't feel like it's in keeping with the scheme of like how Kabam kind of front their content, quality of life, and also that becomes quite expensive for the player. Energy is either meant to be used on Battlegrounds and content, and if you're taking that away from the player base, it ain't nice. I think even more so because Kabam, like this is a very serious skill-based game nowadays, so that element of, well, fun is taken out from it. There doesn't seem to be fun. Some parts of Necropolis was fun, believe it or not, it was. This is not in any kind of shape or form feels like it's fun. I mean, it's not. Like, it's meant to be very skill based. It's meant to be a challenge, but I think there's a point of reaching it in the middle to go, hey, by the way, the skill and the challenge gap of trying to enter the quest is a bit different to actually playing said quest, which is obviously a bit annoying. 0 energy, please, from there on out would have been great. And of course, you know, as Gala says, all of us know this kind of missions are hard, and we need a lot of tries to get good performance. We have to do this fight over and over because the good conditions. In the past, we need only 1 energy per node, 2 in total. Now we need 10 points of energy per try. That's a lot of energy. Obviously, Kabam want us to spend more on each event, but in my opinion, this amount of energy is absurd. Come on, Kabam, the community is a little angry, and that was kind of like ringing true. If you go to the Winter of Woe announcement on Twitter and have a look at some of the comments back. Who was the tool who decided to make this combination of nodes? Community challenges are impossible to do. I'm supposed to enter, but I can't even go anywhere. It's becoming impossible to improve in a game for free to play after almost 10 years. I need to stop playing the game. Give up directly, too bad for the King Groot piece. In addition to the 5 trips, I can't have quite tests without energy. Kabam, they should change it. Are they stupid? I don't know. When is the Warlock bug going to be fixed? Oh yeah, because I heard about that. There's like a bug with Warlock. I'm not quite sure about the Valiant. If you hit it before, that's probably on my list to kind of find out if it's ridiculous. Haven't tried, but based on, yeah, I guess there's no point in me going for any more Deathless parts because I cannot get this one. Then I cannot get the final Thanos. I would say, as I pointed out in the video, like you have 2 weeks to do the fight. If it's a case of saving up revives, farming units, and throwing that at it, then look, that may be an option. I don't think that it's necessarily the best option. It's just a case of like, look, I don't know what to say. I can't make excuses for Kabam, but at the end of the day, they ain't changing it. So what do we do? Do you just give up, or do you farm and go in again? And again, what's the point of 5 energy? More like Winter of the remove the energy cost. Yeah, absolutely. But it's all, these are all relevant points. The fight itself, okay, like one of the things my biggest bugbear is, and Kabam needs to stop doing this, I just don't know why they do it. Brute force. Surely Kabam learnt lessons from last time about brute force. Brute force is the most, I was about to say something more really rude then, but it's the most assest thing to put in. Why? Not necessarily because of node, it's because the way that enemy AI interacts with it. Funnily enough, what we were saying in this, some people in the CCP chat were talking about is that, look, anytime Kabam put that in, the AI behaves differently. It's not in any case or shape or form that there's fair fighting, and there's just a case of like, look, it's just not it. And that's just something I just don't like at all when Kabam put this in. I'm actually just trying to find when he started the discussion. We just started discussing it. There was a brief kind of like, mention about it. H3T3R talked about it, and I said back to, like he said, I'd say the brute force is overkill, and my response was, yeah, that I agree, especially if the AI is just being too passive, which most of the time it is. And there's several people from the community, from like CCP, that agreed with me on that particular point. And also, who came out, like, there's someone else that responded back to say, I think when brute force is applied, the AI acts differently and is slightly more passive because of it, i.e. Act 6 and EOP Crossbones. Perfect example. I think Kabam needs to take an L with this and just go, they made a mistake. And Kabam will keep making mistakes. I don't want to say that they won't or will. It's like they will keep making mistakes. I'll see. Hopefully, there's some kind of like response for Kabam in this particular, lengthy thread. And it is lengthy. I'll try and put a link to these in the description on the matters. But this has just been a very scuffy time with it. Players, there's a lot of mechanics that would not classify as. That's another thing, the damage over time. There's a lot of layers to this. There's a lot of layers to Kabam's L this evening. Do not seem to be applying to this Absorbing Man. It seems to be because of the node. These include, but are not limited to, Overseer, both Retaliation and Cosmic Cube burst damage. Vision, Age of Ultron. Specials do fully nothing. Warlock infections do not apply. I'm sure there are others. This is just a quick roundup I wanted to post to see if we could get the game team to respond as to whether it's intentional or not. I can't remember if Kabam actually responded. I think Kabam Crashed has responded to a few things here or there. But the problem is that the node combinations that I think Kabam kind of go, okay, this is fine. It's like doesn't actually seem to be fine, or kind of like there's a lot of questionable elements to it. I guess they didn't respond on that one, but like there's just so much to it. There's even like a bug. So this player Vanek says, I saw that the game already shows all the stages of the rewards at once. It turns out that even if I become Valiant, they will not change. So like if they're pre-locked. So Avnish comes up with, because obviously this was the question that was asked about Valiant. So you can only see your own Paragon objectives. In my opinion, this is wrong. Kabam should give a chance to show all rewards to Paragon. Most of the Paragons trying so hard to reach Valiant. But now nothing can be done whether you become Paragon. This season Valiant rewards is gone for Paragon who are trying to be Valiant. I'm glad I pushed myself to be Valiant in January first week itself. Well, the same thing with me. I had to do it in January or I wouldn't be able to be Valiant for a long time. Even longer, it seems. So that's that. But at the same time, it doesn't really help out. Player says here, this does on paper seem like one of those things that should be super doable in the way that changing your title doesn't completely change all the rewards, so there's no risk of double dipping. There's only the last couple of brackets that gets unlocked as Valiant. Let's hope they thought about that and built it how the rewards work, because otherwise it's just nope, you are the progression you will start with, while for 1 week calendar for a 1 month event, that's fine. For something that runs the entire year, that's really punishing. Yeah, so you could basically lose out by the end of the year. That's even worse than I thought. But Kabam Crash does respond to this to say, this is not intended. We are looking into it. What is likely to happen is the event will reset for Paragon players with the new milestones. We will grant any missing points, but it won't be right away. So don't panic. It looks like you're missing points. So that's kind of like explains that. Oh, it just goes on, doesn't it? It just goes on. You know, it's still interesting to know what other people are saying. It was interesting because I, read Simula had a really good video using Sandman, which is actually that one there. If I remember, I'll put it in the description, but I'll put a link to this in any case. Really good video using Sandman against Absorbing Man. That's what I'm probably going to use when I go back in again. He said this fight is generally one of the most unfun things the team has ever come up with. It's been less than a day and my excitement for the rest of this event has already run out. Yeah, and I think this is... My worry has always been this. This has always pissed me off because it is a case of the AI always in these EOP type contents, and I worry about the end of the year. The quality of it versus how it interacts with nodes is just so damning for a player. So this is why, if you want to save up a little bit and go back into it, that's another thing. Even MCOC player sort of kind of like, mentioned, say like, of course it's school, winter of grief, difficult bosses, but be human. 1/7 of the energy, 1/7 of the energy is just reach the Absorbing Man. This is theft, reduce the cost. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. So yes, there's also that really kind of, I think we covered the missing master. I've had many people ask about that. Ask about kind of going up and down and does it affect stuff. So there's a lot of people kind of talking. There was a great point, wasn't there? Somebody had a really good point. With the AI bug is really annoying in this one. It's just a case it interacts. Big L for the 10 energy. That's what the kind of the thing we're going to talk about with it. There's a master thread which I've got a link to in the description, which goes over some options that people are using against it. There's some stuff like it's very specific. I feel a lot of people will be ranking up champions in order to take on the content. I don't know if Kabam have actually necessarily responded to that, but it's not a good start. It's weird because a lot of time Kabam don't really get in touch with the player base with stuff. And sometimes I think they're on it, and other times I kind of feel like they're kind of going away. I don't know, man. I really don't know. There must be like a real stickler that goes like, somebody that kind of go, I'm not quite sure how the community might kind of, respond to this, react to this kind of thing. Yeah, and again, like this thing that the challenge overall is cool. Not really fun as I found his AI to be weird. Yeah. Salmon's SP2 spam and Hulk SP3 rotation. Oh, I didn't do the SP. I should have done the SP3 rotation. Painful BS SP1 spam. Wishy won't crit into block. Yeah, that's the issue with it. The only thing I can agree with is the energy requirement, and maybe that the Valiant objective should have been the hashtag robot since just for the Sinister Six, but altogether Sandman is the most optimal counter. Agreed. But it's going to be down to like what you're doing, where you're at with it. Yeah, I just don't think Kabam are responding back to this. I wonder if they'll get a response in in the morning. But anyway, that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. What are your thoughts on this matter? Check out some other content located on screen. And yeah, unfortunately, a massive L for Kabam today. Bye bye for now.